What's up everyone, it's Tyler from Parallax Gaming here with another video. Today we're getting into our patch 8.1 guide series with the Brewmaster Monk. And the Brewmaster Monk has pretty much been the strongest tank so far as rating wise, and decently strong in Mythic Plus as well. They have some decently large CDs in their toolkit. They have the best smoothing damage in the game right now and took some small nerfs in 8.1. However, we're going to get into that further in the guide. If you guys have any questions or concerns throughout the guide, don't hesitate to go into the comments below. Also, the best spot to ask me any questions is through our Discord, which is in the description. Go ahead and join that. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump straight into the guide. Alright guys, our talents, level 15. First off, we have Eye of the Tiger. This is really the only talent in this row that we're going to be using. It's a passive that allows our Tiger Pawn to deal a dot and a hot towards us. It deals 2,240 damage towards the enemy and 2,240 healing towards the monk over 8 seconds. None of the other ones are really useful in this category, so let's go ahead and move on to 30. 30 is really open category. You guys can pretty much use whatever you want. It's not going to be too game changing. This is pretty much just a movement speed and utility usage category. Most people go with Chi Torpedo. Tiger's Lust is also worth mentioning. It increases a friendly target's movement by 70% for 6 seconds and removes all roots and snares. If you guys need to increase a friendly target's movement speed, you want to go ahead and with this. Chi Torpedo, usually the best one for your self movement speed. You move forward a long distance, and you also increase your movement speed by 30% for 10 seconds after, and it stacks up to 2 times. So if you use them consecutively, your speed will go up to 60% faster. 45 is really the one um, that you're going to be choosing between the most. Light brewing reduces the cooldown of Iron Skin Brew and Purifying Brew by 3 seconds and increase your maximum charges by 1. I usually use this in Mythic Plus as you're consecutively pulling the extra Iron Skin Brew and Purifying Brew, as well as the reduced CD helps a lot with keeping those up as often as possible with those consecutive pulls. Black Ox Brew, however, I go with this during raiding. It's a 2-minute CD, instantly refills energy and your brews. So I usually go with Black Ox Brew for raiding and light brewing for Mythic Plus. And 60, another one that's really just utility wise, depends on the fight, depends on what you're doing. Summon Black Ox statue, really good for ad fights and raiding, and really just great for Mythic Plus. You can cast Provoke on the statue, it taunts all enemies, and it pulses threat to all enemies within 20 yards. Great for Mythic Plus on those skittish weeks. Ring of Peace also really good for ad fights and raiding, and for Mythic Plus you can control where your ads are going, protect you or protect the DPS or a healer, keep them off of the DPS or keep them off of you. Tiger Tail Sweep, also a very interesting passive, increases the range of your leg sweep by 2 yards and reduces its CD by 10 seconds. So you'll get your leg sweep up off more often, and the range of it's going to be larger. So if you're trying to get a large pack of ads stunned, go ahead and go with Tiger Tail Sweep. Again, this is really just a situational category. Go ahead and choose in between all of these whenever you see fit. 75, we have Bob and Weave and we have Dampen Harm. Again, situational. In most situations, you're going to go ahead and go with the Bob and Weave, as the passive increases the duration of your stagger by 3 seconds. Overall, just a really powerful passive. However, Dampen Harm is going to be one of those fights that you're just having a rough time and you need an extra CD to stay alive during a certain point in the fight. It's a 2-minute CD. It reduces all damage you take by 20 to 50% for 10 seconds, and it depends on the size of the attack. So really large attacks are going to be reduced by 50%, and really small attacks are going to be reduced by only 20%. Really great CD, lasts 10 seconds long, really long. So it depends on the fight. Throughout a fight, if you need an extra CD, go with Dampen Harm. If you don't, stay with Bob and Weave, really strong passive. Level 90, this is one that we're really only going to go with one of them, which is our Rushing Jade Wind. Summons a Whirl Tornado around you, causing 6,437 damage over 8.4 seconds to enemies within 8 yards. Make sure you keep this up at all times. It's instant and it's a 5.6-second cooldown. At level 100, we really only have one choice, and that's with High Tolerance. It's a really strong passive. Once again, staggers 8% more effective at delaying damage, and you gain up to 15% haste based on your current level of stagger. So when you're getting into those, uh, you know, little bit of an interesting situations when you have a lot of stagger. That haste is really going to help you to pull you out of that stagger and help to get you back on track with keeping a healthy amount of stagger up. Um, so that is pretty much it for the talents. Let's go ahead and move on into our stat priority. So our stat priority as Brewmaster monks are pretty much the simplest as far as all tanks. And number one, we have agility. Second, we have critical strike, versatility, and mastery. And in third place, we have haste. So first off, agility increases your attack power, your dodge chance, and your self-healing. This is indirectly done through your attack power as your healing actually scales through your attack power. So agility indirectly increases your self-healing. Critical strike, besides increasing your critical hit chance due to Celestial Fortune, your critical strike chance gives you an equal chance to receive 65% additional heals from healing you take. Celestial Fortune also increases absorbs you take at all times by the amount equal to your critical strike chance. It's a very strong stat. So let's go ahead and move to versatility. Versatility is also very strong. It's just a base one. Increases all your damage and healing done and decreases damage you take. Your mastery is also very interesting. It guarantees you a stacking buff that increases your chance to dodge, and this lasts until your next dodge. Your mastery also increases your attack power, which then again, attack power indirectly increases your self-healing. Haste, our last stat in our stat priority list, increases our energy regen, lowers our CD on obviously on our auto attacks, rushing J-Win and Keg Smash, which somewhat indirectly boosts our survivability and damage output. However, this is the last in our stat priority, so don't go out of your way to increase your haste. Alright guys, Brewmaster Monk rotation is very simple. However, we must execute this to the point every single time or we will fail as a monk. The amount of building and spending we do as a monk is very crucial to the way the class works. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the rotation, then we'll go ahead and move on to our active mitigation and CDs to see how these both intertwine. So our rotation first is to keep our Keg Smash on CD, our Blackout Strike on CD, our Breath of Fire on CD, and keep our Rushing Jade Wind up at all times. We will then fill with our Tiger Palm if there is nothing else for us to keep off of CD, and that is pretty much our entire rotation. Keep all of these on CD, keep Rushing Jade Wind up at all times, and use Tiger Palm to fill if we have nothing to press at all. Now we're going to go ahead and move on into our active mitigation and our CDs. Our active mitigation is our Iron Skin Brew and our Purifying Brew. Iron Skin Brew allows our stagger to take in substantially more damage for 7 seconds. And both of these share charges. You have a max of 3 charges between Purifying Brew and Iron Skin Brew. Purifying Brew clears 50% of your damage delay with stagger. So with this, you're going to want to keep up Iron Skin Brew 100% of the time. If your stagger is getting out of hand and you know that your stagger is going to be taking you dangerously low, you're going to be using your Purifying Brew to clear 50% of that stagger. So that is pretty much your entire active mitigation worked through your stagger. Now we're going to go ahead and get into our CDs. First off, I took Black Ox Brew to show you guys this. Whenever you are completely out of energy or you're completely out of brews, you definitely need to get those up ASAP. Use this 2-minute CD to get your brews fully back up, get your 3 charges, plus instantly refills your energy. We have a large CD with Fortifying Brew. It's a 7-minute CD, however, it's reduced by throughout your rotation. So you're gonna want to use this as often as you can throughout the fight. Your current and maximum health is increased by 20%, increases your stagger by 10%, the effectiveness of it, and it reduces all damage you take by 20%. An insane CD, really, really great. This CD is also very powerful. Zen Meditation reduces all damage taken by 60% for 8 seconds. Moving, being hit by melee attacks, or taking another action will cancel this effect. So if you're going throughout a fight and there's a very large hit that the boss is about to do onto you, You're going to use the Zen meditations, reduce the damage that that big hit is going to do to you by 60%, and then you can continue with your rotation as you were before. So it's really just a one-time use, 60% damage reduction on on one attack that the boss does. It's a 5-minute CD again, and it's channeled. So don't move until the boss takes a hit onto you or whatever, however it works in that situation. That is pretty much it for our CDs, guys. Again, like I said, um, your Keg Smash and all of these CDs are going to be reducing your Iron Skin Brew and your Purifying Brew charge time. So the recharge time is going to be very vital to how your class works. So if I use this right now and I use my Keg Smash, it automatically reduces the recharge time on my Iron Skin Broom. So doing your rotation as best as you can is going to be able to allow you to succeed with your active mitigation. If you don't make your rotation 100%, you're not going to have 100% uptime on your Iron Skin brew, and you're not going to have that extra brew to use for your purifying brew if you're in trouble. So that is it for our rotation, active mitigation, and CDs. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting this channel, guys. If you guys have any questions throughout this entire video, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. Again, any questions, concerns, that type of stuff, drop it below. In my Discord, like I said, that is the best spot to ask me questions, hang out with me. I'm also live on Twitch all the time, so go ahead and drop by there. If I'm not live, hit me with a follow. If you guys have any questions and I am live, go ahead and drop them there. I can get back to you real time there as well. We have all of our social media links in the description. We post on those all the time. We have our Twitter down there, our Instagram down there. Go check out that stuff. Thank you guys so much for the support. Hope you enjoyed the guide and see you guys in the next one. Peace out.